Your dog is exhausted. The walk is over, the bowl is empty, the house is quiet. It walks to its bed, lowers its head, and then, instead of lying down, it turns once, then again, and maybe again. Sometimes it scratches at the blanket. Sometimes it noses the cushion into a shape only it seems to understand. And then, after all that careful little work, it finally drops down with a sigh. It looks funny, almost ceremonial. But why do dogs do this? Why does an animal with a perfectly soft bed still act as if it has to prepare the ground beneath it? The answer begins long before dog beds, couches, heated floors, or fleece blankets. Because when your dog circles before lying down, it may be doing something older than your living room. It may be listening to a memory written into the body. Not a memory of one place or one day, but a pattern carried forward from animals that had to sleep outside, on grass, dirt, leaves, and snow. For wild canids, sleeping was never just sleeping. It was a small survival decision. Where you slept affected how warm you stayed, how exposed you were, whether insects bothered you, whether the ground hid something sharp, and whether you could rise quickly if the world changed in the dark. So before settling down, an animal might turn, step, press, and adjust the surface beneath it, not because it was being dramatic, because comfort and safety used to be the same thing. One simple idea is that circling helped flatten a sleeping spot. Imagine tall grass, loose leaves, rough brush, or uneven soil. A few turns of the body could press the ground down, make a shallow nest, and create a smoother place to rest. Even today, you can see echoes of this in the way some dogs paw at a blanket, push a cushion with their nose, or spin until the bed feels just right. To us, the bed already looks ready. To the dog, the body may still want to finish the ritual. There is a kind of physical logic to it. Circling lets the dog test the space with its paws, shift the fabric, and find the angle that feels comfortable. But comfort is only part of the story. Circling may also be a way of checking the environment. Before an animal lies down, it becomes more vulnerable. Its head lowers, its muscles relax, its reaction time changes. So a few turns can also become a small scan of the world. Where is the doorway? Where are the people? Where is the sound coming from? Where is the warm wall, the open room, the corner, the window? Your dog may not be thinking these questions in words, but the body is still gathering information. Many dogs prefer to sleep with some awareness of the room around them. Some choose corners, some choose doorways, some choose the foot of the bed. Some choose a spot where they can see you without being in the way. That final turn before lying down may help them settle into a position that feels safe. Head toward the room, back toward the wall, body curled around warmth, eyes near the people they trust. And yes, sometimes it is just about temperature. A dog turning in circles may be trying to find the best way to hold heat, release heat, or shape the body into a more comfortable sleeping position. When a dog curls up tightly, it keeps warmth close. The nose may tuck near the tail, the legs fold in. Less surface area is exposed. When a dog sprawls out, belly down or legs everywhere, it may be trying to cool off, stretch, or relax completely. The circle before the flop is often the little negotiation before the final posture. Too warm? Stretch out. Too cool? Curl in. Too much noise? Turn toward the sound. Too exposed? Shift closer to something solid. It can look random, but the body is solving a tiny problem. It also reminds us that dogs are not just pets living in human rooms. They are animals with bodies shaped by movement, scent, pressure, routine, and ancient habits. Some dogs circle once and collapse. Some turn 3 or 4 times, very seriously, as if aligning with invisible stars. Some paw at the blanket until the entire bed looks worse than when they started. Some do not circle much at all. These differences can depend on age, body shape, temperature, the surface they are sleeping on, and what they learned at home. A small dog burrowing into blankets may have a very different ritual from a large dog stretching across cool tile. An older dog may turn more slowly because joints and muscles need more time. A nervous dog may circle longer because settling is harder when the body is not fully calm. So the behavior is not one message. It is a little cluster of things: instinct, comfort, routine, safety, and feeling. Most of the time, circling before lying down is completely normal. It is one of those small dog behaviors that look strange only because we see it in a modern setting. A dog turning around on a soft bed in a warm house is not ridiculous. It is an old behavior wearing a new costume. But there are times when circling deserves closer attention. If your dog suddenly starts circling much more than before, seems unable to settle, cries, pants, trembles, or repeatedly gets up and lies down again, the behavior may not be just a bedtime ritual. It could be discomfort, joint pain, an itchy skin problem, an upset stomach, anxiety, or, in older dogs, changes related to canine cognitive dysfunction, a condition sometimes compared to dementia in humans. The key is change. If your dog has always turned twice before bed, that is probably just your dog. But if the circling becomes intense, confused, repetitive, or paired with other signs, it is worth paying attention. Dogs often tell us something is wrong through patterns before they tell us through obvious symptoms. A changed habit can be information. So what should you do? Most of the time, nothing dramatic. Let the dog perform the ritual. Give it a bed that is large enough to turn in comfortably. Keep the sleeping area calm. Notice whether your dog prefers soft blankets, firm cushions, cool floors, or a corner with support behind it. If your dog is older, think about easier surfaces. A bed with low edges, good traction nearby, less jumping, less slipping. Sometimes what looks like fussy bedtime behavior is really the body asking for a better landing place. And if your dog circles because it is anxious, the answer is not to scold the circling. It is to help the body feel safer. Predictable routines help. A calm evening helps. A familiar bed in a quiet spot helps. Your dog may not need you to interrupt the ritual. It may need you to understand why the ritual is there. There is something touching about it, really. Your dog lives in a world we built. Walls, lamps, carpets, couches, beds, schedules, human voices, human rules. And yet, before it sleeps, the body still performs this small, ancient check. Turn, feel the ground, measure the room, choose the angle, make the space safe enough for sleep. Then, only then, release the weight of the day. Maybe that is why the behavior feels so familiar, even when it looks funny. Humans do it too, in our own way. We adjust the pillow, pull the blanket, check the door, turn off the light, set the room into the shape that lets us rest. Your dog's version is just older, simpler, and written more deeply into the body. So the next time your dog walks to its bed and turns in a careful little circle, do not rush to call it silly. It may be choosing comfort. It may be checking safety. It may be following a rhythm that began long before it had a name, a collar, or a favorite blanket. And when it finally lies down, curls into that perfect shape, and lets out a soft breath, it has answered the oldest question every sleeping animal has to ask. Is this place safe enough to rest? For your dog, in that moment, the answer is yes.